coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games. And I'm here today to talk about Pokemon Go. Now you might be asking yourself why a person who has a channel called Teaching with Board Games would do something about Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is in no way, shape, or form a board game. But now remember, Teaching with Board Games is my title of my channel, but I do also look at gamification, game-based learning, all those kind of things. But gamification is what Pokemon Go is. Gamification is where you're turning something that is not a game, giving it game elements to encourage people to do it. So in this case, what Pokemon Go is doing is they are really gamifying the whole thing of walking, getting out to the outdoors, the wilderness, going to parks and things like that, and getting people interested in walking again, encouraging them to walk. And that's why I have it on this channel. A couple months ago, I talked about Pokemon Go. I just started it again. I'd started playing Pokemon Go back when it had first come out a couple of years ago, and I kind of got tired of it and stopped. There was a lot of things I didn't like about it, and so I just eventually lost interest. I'd heard there had been some changes and things, so I decided to give it another try this year, end of July, beginning of August, and saw that a lot of those things that I didn't like before had been changed, and so I was enjoying it a lot more. As time has gone on, it has just revealed itself to be better and better, to the point now where I felt like, okay, now that my understanding of this game has grown, so has my appreciation for this game. So much so that I wanted today to do a top 10 list for the things I love about Pokemon Go. So without any further introduction, let me get right down to my top 10 list of things I love about Pokemon Go. Now, I said I'm going to right to the top 10 list, but I do want to say there's a couple of honorable mentions first. So these aren't, I wrote out all the things I liked about it. I even spoke with my daughters who are heavily involved in Pokemon Go now. There's a lot of people now in the family who are really heavily involved in this game, so I asked them as well to contribute their thoughts and ideas. So what this is today was their thoughts and ideas as well, contributing to this whole top 10 list, and from their ideas as well, I thought about where, for me personally, where these things come down. But some of the things that were mentioned to me were certainly worthy of mentioning, even though if I'm being strict about top 10, they wouldn't make the top 10. There's things I like better, personally. So in the honorable mentions, the first thing off would be the whole aspect of the friends. You can have friends and you can give gifts to your friends, you can trade with your friends, you can battle with your friends, and that is worldwide. So you can have friends that are in Europe and Asia, Australia, South America, all over the world. And it's really cool because if they send you something, you can see where it came from. You can see a picture of the Pokestop where they got it, so you can see the landmark that the Pokestop was at. So you're just seeing all these different places around the world, and if they send you an egg, then you hatch the egg, and the egg will always say at the bottom where it came from. I know I've got just hatched an egg. Actually, I hatched the egg a while ago, but I evolved it just last night, and I can still see that it came from someplace in India. And that's kind of cool for me to think that this thing came from India to me, and now it's part of my collection. Just really wonderful. And the second thing I want to mention in terms of the honorable mentions is the safety. I mean, the whole Pokemon Go system is really geared around keeping people safe who are doing this. So one thing that they're doing is they give you the reminders at the beginning: don't be trespassing, don't be driving while you're doing it, things like that. But what really impresses me, one, is that when you have these friends who are all over the world, there's no communication in terms of I can't send messages to these people. So if there's all these people who might be posing as other people or whatever, I mean, there's no messaging. All you can do is just send them gifts. So in that way, it's very safe. So even if you have kids and adults and things playing, it doesn't matter, because the most you can do in terms of communication is you can send them a gift, you can invite them to help you in a raid, and that's about it. In that way, it's very safe. When you're doing raids and things like that, a lot of those things shut down after 10 o'clock at night, so you're not encouraged to go out late. Any of the Pokestops and gyms you find, the vast majority of them are going to be in parks and in places which are away from crowded areas like busy streets and things like that. You will sometimes find some around there, but like I was saying, the vast majority are going to be clustered around parks and things where people are encouraged to walk. So in that way, they're really encouraging safety. Okay, and now for real. Now I'm getting to my top 10 list. These are the top 10 things I love about Pokemon Go. These are the things that made the cut. These are the ones that I think are the things that I love most about Pokemon Go. So let's get right to it. So for number 10 is the strategies. There's a lot of strategies that you start to learn as you play Pokemon Go. You know, strategies not only in terms of when you're fighting, when your Pokemon are fighting other Pokemon, whether you're doing a raid battle or fighting another trainer or fighting Team Rocket, things like that. You start to learn which Pokemon work well against other types of Pokemon. You start to learn, you can put up shields to guard yourself from an attack when you're doing trainer versus trainer. And learning when to do that, when not to do that is also part of the strategies that you learn. So just these strategies that you start to develop over the time is really cool. I've also started to develop strategies in terms of my use of resources. I used to be hyper vigilant about always keeping my Pokemon, at top health all the time. But I've learned different strategies now on how to better manage my resources so that I'm not always starved for resources. And so that kind of thing too really helps out. It's these things that, as you learn and you grow and you develop, it makes it more interesting to me. So number 10 is strategies. My number 9 favorite thing about Pokemon Go is secret evolutions. Now, when you evolve a Pokemon, you sometimes get, I'm going to put up on the screen now, you can get a picture of the Pokemon, and you see at the bottom here where it says that you can have an evolution. You get so many of the candies by catching the Pokemon repeatedly. You get enough candies, you can evolve them. Now, sometimes, like on this one here that I'm showing, it doesn't show any evolution. But this one can evolve, and there's different Pokemon that can evolve, but only in secret ways. And it takes a little bit of research and knowledge, and you start to figure this stuff out as you go. Is this kind of thing, these little hidden gems that really kind of, to me, I find appealing. I find it exciting to say, oh, hey, wait, look, I can evolve this one after all. Like Eevee, I found out there's 3 new Eevee evolutions. I know how to get to 2 of the evolutions, the Espeon and the Umbreon, but I still don't know how to get Leafeon. So that's something I'm sure I'm going to learn sometime in the future, and I find that exciting. I mean, I could research it now, but I feel like it'll come sometime, and I'm just going to enjoy that surprise when it does. So my number 9 then is the secret evolutions. My number 8 favorite thing about Pokemon Go, it kind of ties into the first 2 things I said at number 10 and number 9, is that the game in its most basic form is very simple. You walk around, you catch Pokemon, you put them in gyms, that's kind of the game. You go to Pokestops, you spin them, you get your resources, and you just keep repeating. But as you get more into the game, as you start to understand the game more, you start to see all these different layers that start to come underneath it, and it becomes increasingly complex. And I love that about it, that this game, it just keeps you interested, because as you go through it, what seems so simple at first suddenly becomes more and more complex and more interesting, more intricate. There's more to it. It's just one of those things that just keeps you interested. And so that's why my number 8 is the simplicity yet complex. My number 7 favorite thing about Pokemon Go is the hunt. When you're finding those Pokemons that you're looking for, maybe you want more of their candy so you can make that evolution, or there's just a particular type that you're really fond of and you want to catch them, just going on those hunts and say, oh, there they are, and there's just that excitement of going for the hunt. And then my favorite kind of hunt is where you're looking and they give you a little radar at the bottom of your screen and they show you like a silhouette. And the silhouette means this is a Pokemon you have never seen before. You've never caught this one before, so it's not part of your collection, and that's really exciting because now this is one more to add to your collection. I mean, they've got that whole, Pokemon coined the phrase, gotta catch them all. And that's what you kind of feel like, oh, I want to catch them all. And so when you see one that you don't have, that is super exciting, and it really gets the adrenaline rushing as you hurry over to that spot to try and find that Pokemon to be able to add it to your collection. So my number 7 favorite thing about Pokemon Go is the hunt. My number 6 favorite thing about Pokemon Go is the fact that it gets you outdoors. As my daughter Sarai had pointed out, this one's encouraging you to go outdoors, and it mimics what was done in the original cartoons. Ash and his friends used to walk all over the place. And so you're doing the same thing. You're just being just like Ash, and you're walking from place to place to place, and you're seeing these different areas, and you're encouraged to walk, and you need to get outdoors to do this, and that's great. Every day your Pokemon buddy wants to see a place you've never seen before, which you're spinning a Pokestop or a gym that you've never been to before, which again is encouraging you to go to other places to explore. Also what that's doing is when you go to those places, when you're spinning it, it gives you a picture, a little title, and it tells you a little bit about the place that you're going to. So it's showing you these different landmarks. Now the landmarks may be a bridge, it may be a fountain, but it gives you the name of the fountain. Okay, this is cool. But sometimes you can learn things too from doing this, because I know myself, I've lived in Brandon for many years now, and I never knew that in the park near the city hall we have a memorial for 9/11. So it's just one of those things I learned by spinning the stop, and I saw the thing pop up, and I was able to read it and learn a little bit more about my city that I lived in. But if you're traveling, it's another great way to encourage you to see these different landmarks and things. I'm not talking huge landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, but you'll be seeing smaller landmarks that you might have missed otherwise. So really cool just getting you outdoors and seeing all these different things. So that's my number 6. My number 5 thing about Pokemon Go is one that really I've noticed the difference in between the original inception of the game, and that is that it's always changing. There's always different things. There's always different Pokemons coming out. They have different events. They have different challenges and quests, and here's a community day with these special things happening. There's always things going on. It just, that kind of thing, just keeping it fresh, keeping it interesting is what I really love about it. So just a game like this, if it was just very much the same thing all the time, it could get boring very quickly. But they're smart about it. They're keeping you interested by doing these different things all the time. Number 5 is keeping it fresh by always changing it up. My number 4 favorite thing about Pokemon Go is the quests. I am a very goal-oriented person, and so when you start giving me these quests and say, okay, you need to do X, Y, and Z to complete this quest, and X, Y, Z to complete this quest, and it just really kind of motivates me to get out there, and I'm like, oh, I need this, and then I'm starting to see those things like, again, when I talked about the hunt, okay, I need to catch these things because that's for this quest, and I need these things for this quest, and I need to do this particular action for this quest. That just really is something that I find helps to motivate me to go out more to do whatever it is I need to do for those quests. As a goal-oriented person, that really gets me. So number 4 is those quests. My number 3 thing I love about Pokemon Go is the exercise. I mean, I set myself a goal this month, for the month of October, to walk 200 kilometers. I figured, divide the month into 4 weeks, do 50 kilometers a week. That sounds reasonable to me. I have crushed that goal. I mean, last week alone, I did 79 kilometers of walking. So I can't remember off the top of my head, I didn't write it down, how many kilometers I've walked over the time that I've started playing this game, but maybe I'll put it in the comment, I'll put it underneath me right now, how many kilometers I have walked. I just know that, like I said, it started off slower, but now that more of the family's getting into it, it's just more and more motivating for me to do it. So it is lots of exercise, and I'm really enjoying that, and I'm feeling better for it. So exercise is my number 3. My number 2 favorite thing about Pokemon Go that I love is that money is not required. You can play it for free. You can spin the Pokestops to get all the balls you need. You can go to the gyms to put your Pokemon in there, and you'll get the Pokecoins, and then you can buy raid passes and stuff like that. You don't have to pay money to play the game. Paying money can help you get things you want more quickly, to be more active in the raids and things like that, so that those can be fun, but it's not necessary. But even if you do spend money, what I like about it is that spending more money doesn't make you a better player. Spending more money isn't going to buy you better Pokemon. It's not going to buy you levels. It's not going to buy you. All it can buy you is maybe raid passes and maybe little outfits you can wear and equipment that you can use in the game. But it's not like a game like Magic the Gathering, where if you spend lots of money on Magic the Gathering, you are going to get the most rare cards. You are going to have the best deck. You are going to be more likely to win. It's not the case here in Pokemon Go. In Pokemon Go, you can get more resources and things. You can go to more raids, which can get you some more Pokemon, but you can still do raids even if you don't spend the money. So there's just this whole balance, and I don't really feel like you have to spend the money to be a good player. You don't have to spend any money to be a good player. The money helps, sure, but you don't have to. Not going to be able to buy success in the game. My number 1 favorite thing of this game, and it's something that was very unexpected for me, is that how this has become a huge family thing for us now. So it started off when I started doing the game that I was playing it because I just wanted to do it for the channel and just sort of get a sense of it again. And as I started playing, I realized, hey, this is really good. So I talked to Timothy about it. I know Timothy's a big Pokemon fan. He's always talking about Pokemon this and Pokemon that. And so I thought, let's get Timothy in on it. So Timothy and I started playing, and we were walking around, and we were having a good time, and he was really loving it. And so then my wife started thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll come for a walk with you, because I need to, she wanted to get walking too. And she says, while I go, I will just get some balls for Timothy, and I'll just use his account just to help him out a little bit. And then suddenly it became like, well, hold on, maybe I just want to catch this one for Timothy. And oh, look at this one looks cute. And she started catching them for Timothy, and so finally I said, why don't you just make your own account? So she did. And now she is a super active player. She's loving the game. She's constantly pushing me to go out for walks. We go on long walks every day. Like after we're done work, we'll go for long walks, and when we have short breaks during the day, we'll go for short walks. I mean, we are constantly walking now. My daughters play it, their boyfriends play it, and there was sometimes some resistance there too, but with the boyfriends, but they got into it as well. Now that they're into it, they are loving it. It's one of these things that maybe you're not too into it. Like my wife's told us to know Pokemon. She has different names. She has her own names for some of these Pokemon, like Rosary, Gardenia, and that one with the shell. I have to sometimes just be able to interpret what she means based on this to understand which Pokemon she's talking about. But she's really enjoying it. I mean, she never had any experience with Pokemon before, any knowledge of it before, but she's really loving it. And my daughter's boyfriend was a little bit resistant to start, but now that he's into it, he's loving it. I think it's one of these games that once you try it, you may find that it surprises you and how much you enjoy it, especially with all the benefits that it has. So I just love that it is something that a family can do together and enjoy together, and it really helps to encourage everybody to motivate each other to get out there and get walking. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. If you have any questions about Pokemon Go, or if you have other ideas for either games you might like to see on the channel or other examples of gamification, maybe through apps and things that you might like me to show on the channel as well, please leave me that message in the comment section below. If you have any other ideas for any other topics of discussion you might like to hear about, again, leave that message in the comment section below. My goal is to do a new video every week on topics of gamification, game-based learning, reviewing board games which have educational content in them, maybe doing some playthroughs of games. That is my mandate for this channel. If you have any ideas, as I say, always love to hear from the viewers. Well, until next time, I'm Craig Thompson-Wood, your host with Teaching with Board Games, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all.